Alright, and welcome to the Week 6 predictions. It's going to be a pretty light week this week. I only had, I believe, 17 games for the games that matter, and one of them is postponed indefinitely for now. We'll just get started. The first two games are tonight. It's number 3 Clemson at Boston College. I have Clemson winning this one. I think they're going to continue their win streak, but it could be a potential letdown game. You got to watch out for Boston College. Next is number 19 Boise State at New Mexico. I have Boise State winning this one on the road. I think they'll continue their undefeated season. They have a bit of a rougher schedule coming up, but they could be a spoiler. Next is number 5 Washington at Oregon. Washington is not beaten Oregon since the 2003 season. It's been a really long time for Washington, and I think they're going to get their win this year. I got Washington picked to win that one. Next was the LSU at number 18 Florida. This game has been postponed. I had picked Florida, but I may have to change that depending on what goes down. But the Florida game is not going to be played this weekend due to the hurricane. Next is Texas at number 20 Oklahoma. I got Oklahoma winning this one at home. I think they have a really good chance at actually winning out and taking the conference, which would leave them at 10-2 as the Big 12 conference champs, which could potentially leave the Big 12 out of the playoff picture again. Next is number 6 Houston at Navy. I picked Houston on the road here. I think Navy's struggling a lot more than they did last year, and I don't think that defense is as good as the defense that Houston faced last season. Next is Indiana at number 2 Ohio State. I picked Ohio State to win this game because it is in the horseshoe, but watch out for Indiana. They pulled off a huge surprise upset last week, beating Michigan State. I've got Ohio State winning this one, but it could be a close one. Next is number 9 Tennessee at number 8 Texas A&M. I'm picking Tennessee in this one. I know it's a big pick. They're on the road. They've played okay so far this season, but they're number 9, and we're in week 6. Number 9 in the first 5 weeks is 5-0. I think they could continue that streak, and I think they get a win here. Next is number 25 Virginia Tech at number 17 North Carolina. I've picked North Carolina to win this one at home, but I think Virginia Tech keeps it close. It's going to be a fun game to watch. Keep an eye out on it. Next is number 21 Colorado at USC. I've picked Colorado to win this game. USC is 2-3 right now, and they're 0-3 against ranked opponents. So I don't think they can pull off this win. I think Colorado's actually a really good team this year. It's going to be an interesting game to watch, but it should be a close one. Next is number 1 Alabama at number 16 Arkansas. I'm picking Alabama with a huge road win here. Arkansas is going to give them some troubles, but it's going to be a fun game to watch. Keep an eye on this one. I've got Alabama on upset alert, even though I'm picking them to win. Next is number 4 Michigan at Rutgers. I picked Michigan to win this game. I think they're going to do better than they did against Colorado, than they did last week offensively. I got them picked to win this one, even though they're on the road. I just don't think Rutgers has got what it takes to beat this team. Next is number 23 Florida State at number 10 Miami. If this game is played, I'm picking Miami to win it. I think Florida State's going to lose 2 straight games, back-to-back games for the first time since the 2011 season. But I don't know that this game's going to be played. There's still a lot of question on that, since it would be in Miami. There's a lot of questions on whether they are going to play it. They haven't canceled it as of recording this, so it could be that they do play it. But if they do play it, I'm picking Miami. Next is Arizona at number 24 Utah. For the second straight week, I'm picking the unranked team against Utah. I think Arizona's looked a lot better than their record says, and I think Utah had a great start to the season, but I think they're just not quite ready. I got Arizona winning this one on the road. Next is Washington State at number 15 Stanford. Stanford's defense is way better than Oregon's defense, so don't expect Washington State to put up the same number of points, but they may keep it close. Keep an eye on this one. It's going to be how Christian McCaffrey gets back into the Heisman talks, if he's going to be in the Heisman talks for the rest of the season. I have picked 2 more games now for my games that matter of unranked teams. Toledo at Eastern Michigan. I got Eastern Michigan winning this one, which puts them at a 5-1 record if they do. Which is really great spot for them to be in right now, especially considering they were a 1-win team last season. They're already 3-game improvement, and we're only 5 games into the season, so it can only get better from here. And I think they could make bowl eligibility this year, and they could also sneak into the top 25. You never know. Next is Northern Illinois at Western Michigan. I'm picking Western Michigan again to win here. Puts them at 6-0 on the season, which is 1 game back from how many wins they had last season. So it's a good spot for them to be in at this point, halfway through their season. If they go to 6-0, no losses, that's a good spot, and I think they creep up higher into that top 25 in the Coaches Poll and into the top 25 in the AP poll. Keep an eye on Western Michigan. They could play spoiler. They're coming out of nowhere on this season. And that's it for my games that matter this week. It's going to be a fun weekend. I can't wait to see some of these games. Clemson's is tonight, as is Boise State's. So I gotta say, this is gonna be a fun weekend. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys like what I'm doing, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And I'll see you guys after the weekend for the Week 6 recap.